Welcome back. Time now 6:20. Now we're just a few weeks away from the one-year anniversary of last year's historic flooding, and one major group that helped with efforts during that time was the Salvation Army. Now joining us now is Major Greg Thompson of the Salvation Army. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. It's nice to be here.
So tell us a little bit about what was the biggest thing the Salvation Army learned from dealing with last year's floods.
I think what we learned most is that are you really prepared? And I'm not sure we were totally prepared last year, but we were ready for people to step up and take the lead in doing what they needed to do to help people. So that was helpful. But now we kind of step back and go, okay, we're coming up on the 1 year. Are we really ready for that to happen again? So.
Sure. Because how big was the response that you guys?
It was amazing for us. We were responding all the way from Rapid City all the way down to Falls City, or even farther than that, Hamburg, and farther down in southern Iowa. At one time we kind of measured and said, oh my gosh, we have like a 500-mile response to this flood as it's happening throughout the region. So,
which is one of the biggest ones you guys have ever done.
Oh, biggest thing we've ever done, yeah. Here in this area. We've never seen anything like it. So it was kind of nice this morning to see your reports that there might be some ice jams on the Platte, but they're still flowing. We're like, yes, that's good. That's
I think
good
a lot
news.
of people learned from that, last year. So for our viewers that don't know, what are some of the services that the Salvation Army offers specifically when it comes to disasters like last year's flooding?
Well, when it comes to disasters, our job is responsiveness to whatever people need. So we have 26 centers across the three-state area. We have 16 canteens, which are mobile kitchens that are ready to go out, and we have teams that are prepared in volunteerism to be able to go on those canteens and serve people with whatever they need. Last year we gave out almost 100,000 items, and that included flood kits and things like that, and people were just amazing in their generosity in this community. So we're grateful for that, and that happens all the time when people know there's a need in this area.
Sure. Now, at what point does the Salvation Army decide we need to step in, or at what point do they, cities or whoever, request your help?
People do request our help. We are throughout the year, we're in touch with emergency management, and we're part of VOAD, Volunteer Organizations Active in Disasters. And so we're on the scene right away to know what's happening as it comes up as well.
Now, last year, I know when things like this happen, everybody wants to help, which, bless them for wanting to do that.
They do.
And last year, it was kind of all happened all at once. That, it was organized, but it was so last minute. Is there anything that people can do now to sign up or volunteer just in case something does happen, or how can people get involved? They
could call 898-7700, and we could connect them to our volunteer department, and they could just say that they're ready to help if anything happens, and we start then a list of people that would be ready to respond at that time. I think one of the big things we're doing, though, is those small towns. Those are really small areas. We're working with a group of pastors right now in helping them prepare in their very small towns. Like, we have one town that only has 200 people in it, and they're like, but we're right near a river. If we flood, what do our people do?
Right.
And so they're gathering people together and giving us an opportunity to help train them in how to be ready for a flood and how to be ready to respond, and what their people and maybe their churches could do to help people who are in need during that time.
Yeah, especially because a lot of those small towns are the ones that are impacted the most.
Right. And then they don't really have a lot of services in those little tiny towns.
Right.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Major Greg Thompson, thanks so much for joining us today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.